This is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Core, it's Easy.
I am Will. Hey everyone.
And we're back to talk more Rise of the Third Army, this time from Green Lantern Corps 13 through 15. With that ever-lovable Guy Gardner.
Indeed.
A little John Stewart, but mostly Guy Gardner.
And maybe the beginnings of the return of a fan favorite.
Yeah. So... And also, like, oh, hey, even though that happened pre-New 52, I guess that happened.
It still happened.
Well, before we get to those, I have a question for you. Did you get your new books yet?
I did.
Oh, did you read them?
I did read them.
So you saw Who Became a Red Lantern, eh?
I did. Which is oddly
Speaking of
for this week.
Uh-huh.
I also read DC All In #1.
Yes.
And
it sets up all those absolute books, yeah.
Yeah, it sets up all the absolute books, but I was a little disappointed. It ran into the problem, and I don't think it solved it very well, because it was something I was grappling with an issue of Crossover Division, was if you're going to have this big thing in the middle of the book, and you're going to get there from each end, how do you do that so that you can read through? But neither of those really worked as a read through. You read to the middle, then you had to turn it over. I don't know. I mean, I applaud them for, experimenting, but I don't know. It just didn't feel like it worked really well to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, of course, it's just basically a selling point. It's just like, oh, hey, look, it's setting up this big thing coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I get the...
And plus, we're finally getting a Justice League after how long by Mark Waid, too, so...
Exactly, yeah, Justice League Unlimited with the cards. I mean, and that was... I mean, I thought the story was really good. It's just that I think what they were trying to do by, flipping the book and having it come together in the middle, I don't know, that experimentation with the form didn't really work for me. I don't think it achieved what they were after, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still cool if they tried, so, cool. But yes, I got Green Lantern, was it 16?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And Green Lantern Civil Corps Special #1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and, okay, spoilers.
Yes, spoilers.
Spoilers. This is a spoiler zone. You will be inundated. You might even be hit with a spoiler, so you have been warned. The last page of the Civil Corps Special, an entity makes an appearance. It looks like the Predator. Was that the Predator?
Wait. What did you say at the end of the Civil Corps?
Wait, end of Civil Corps was Mogo.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, end of Green Lantern 16 is...
Oh. Trying to remember what we saw. Yeah, I don't...
I think it was the Predator flying toward the ship, the Thanagarian ship.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You say Predator. You mean like Star Sapphire Predator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
maybe. I heard Predator. I'm just thinking movie Predator. I'm like, no, I don't think they have the rights. But yeah, no. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Now that you're saying that, it might be, yeah.
But last time we knew, the entities were imprisoned behind the source wall or some weird stuff that I don't exactly know the complete story of because we haven't got there yet.
Yeah, the last thing I think we knew, a lot of Green Lanterns were dead who aren't dead now, Will. So.
Good point. Point well taken. I will shelve that comment until we know more.
I mean, I think Jeremy Adams is like trying to do a great job of explaining, when he brings something in, it's like, oh yeah, this is how this one's back or this one. So, I mean, I would assume we're going to, oh, and how about, again, you saw the preview, so you knew it was happening, but Yellow Lantern Kilowog.
Yeah, who's just kind of grumpy and, smacks John around a bit, which I find a little odd, to be honest. I mean, is John still powered up? I mean, half of Infinity is still kind of Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
What's John's status? I mean, I'm sure it's going to get explained, but having him on Earth with all the trouble that they're having with the rainbow ball or whatever you want to call it, why not just, hey, John, what the heck's going on? What'd you do? Well, this is what I did. Oh, well, okay, it didn't work or something. I don't know. It just seems odd. Now, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping, because we're going to have to deal with John eventually, that somebody brings Katma back, right?
Yes. We've been begging for it.
I know, exactly. And it was such a bad death. So poorly done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fridged before fridging was even a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is she don't even get the hype. I don't think that Alex does.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So, I'm caught up on Green Lantern at this point, although I have not read the Green Lantern Dark. I think that came out after, so I'll be getting that. When it comes in the next shipment. But I mean, it's we're moving toward things. We're definitely moving toward things.
Yes, we are. I mean, I wonder how long it's going to take to get all the answers and to tie all this up. And
again, I have complete faith in Jeremy Adams.
I do too.
His flash run was very entertaining and also kind of surreptitiously fixed a lot of things that needed fixing.
Yes.
Wally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And again, like I already said it, but yes, Jeremy Adams is going to be doing a new Aquaman book here soon. So,
Yep.
Another character I think needs some tender loving care.
Love.
Yes.
Well, and this is recent memory for us, although
yes,
Brightest Day is not that recent when you get right down to it. But
you said the curse word.
I said that we're not going to talk. Okay, we're still in a spoiler zone, so people aren't listening to this anyway. I feel like Aquaman was set up for a lot of things post Brightest Day. I feel like a lot of stuff was set up post Brightest Day that all just got abandoned, completely and totally abandoned. So yeah, it'll be good to see what he can do with Aquaman.
I hope so. Yeah, that'd be great if he could tie up a lot of that Brightest Day stuff. And again, I think he just needs like a little, like I said, the character needs a little maybe retooling after the Snyderverse and
yeah.
I think that's why some characters took a break.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to be a part of that.
And you got to be kidding me! All right, first two issues tonight have a synopsis, but not the last one.
Okay. So, hey, we're talking about Guy Gardner and his Green Lantern Corps, and we're looking forward to it because these are actually pretty good issues, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, are we grading on the new 52 curve?
Yes, we're grading on a new 52 curve. Not that these issues don't have some, pardon the pun, issues, but we'll get into that.
I mean, yeah. It's basically, the new 52 curve. How big is the body count this arc?
There's a pretty big body count.
I know. All right, you ready to jump into these?
Fire away.
All right, so yes, we'll start with Green Lantern Corps number 13. And there's the cover.
Which is a really nice cover. Is that a...
Yeah, I'm thinking it must connect with something else. I wonder... I see a red boot. I wonder if it connects with like a Red Lantern... Red Lantern cover or something.
Red Lantern book, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rise of the... Who did the art on that cover? I'm going to have to look that up while you're... Go ahead, rock on, and I'll look that up while you're...
Oh, cover artist, Ivan Reyes, Eau Claire Albert, and Rod Reyes. So.
Nice. I mean, because that looks like pre-New 52 Green Lantern. And that's because...
Some of our pre-New 52 artists.
He was an artist, yep.
All right. So, yeah, like I said, Green Lantern Corps Volume 3, number 13 from December 2012. Torn. Is that a pun? Torn? Writer Peter Tomasi, penciler Carlos Urbano, inker Scott Hanna, colorist Gabe Edelab, letterer Dave Sharp, and editors Will Moss and Matt Idelson. In the far reaches of space, a group of miners find themselves victims of the Third Army as they are gruesomely assimilated into the collective. While on Oa, the Guardians unleash Zar, the alien that killed several Green Lantern trainees until Guy took him down. Meanwhile, on the surface of Oa, Guy is being set up, honored by the Guardians with the official ceremony naming him Lantern Sentinel. But not all the members of the Corps are happy about it. When the speeches are over, Guy is put in charge of a team that is to perform escort duty for ambassadors from 2 warring cultures. Guy, of course, chooses John to be on the team, but Stewart is summoned by the Guardians and cannot join them. John is informed that pieces of Mogo seem to be assembling themselves, and they felt that John should investigate and help Mogo in putting his pieces back together. A task John is more than happy to take on. While Guy and his team are playing escort, Foz informs Guy that Zar has escaped, and Guy defies the Guardians to leave his duty with half the team so he can fly to Earth and protect his family. With Guy following the path the Guardians fully expected him to, Zar is ordered by the Guardians to attack the delegations and leave no one alive, including the Corps members Guy left in place. As Guy and his group approaches Saturn, they are attacked by the Third Army, and Vandor is assimilated into the Third Army Collective in a most brutal fashion. Thoughts?
Well, on a scale of grim to New 52, this is a New 52 in grimness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little confused by what the Guardians are doing. Okay, if Green Lanterns are more difficult to assimilate, why not just shut off power to all the rings?
True. I mean, unless they want. Once they assimilate them, can they use those rings? So do they want the?
I don't know. I mean, it just seems but
this coming from the people who can make more.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and we do get, is it next issue where Kilowog and Salak are discussing things?
I forget. It's either next issue or the one after, but yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, of course, Guy is easy to manipulate because he's Guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, especially when you're showering him with honors and.
Yeah. And, they're manipulating John really well. I mean, I see the, Machiavellian, manipulations going on here, but I'm kind of curious as to why. There's not a lot of Green Lanterns on Oa. Why not just have the Third Army hit Oa and, take all the power from the rings and let them assimilate the Corps that are on Oa and then go out and start doing pockets. I mean, it seems like a...
Or start calling Lanterns in a little at a time to Oa and then just quietly assimilate them as they come to Oa. Exactly. And, it seems to be a much more complex version of a plan than it really needs to be. And we're going to talk about Salak when we get to the third issue, at that point. So, yeah, I mean, I thought this was a good issue, but it is getting pretty grim. And how many beings have been killed by the Guardians and become, members of the Third Army? They said it's going faster than they expected. Mm-hmm.
I mean, are we talking millions at this point? Just thousands? What? I mean, I'm curious.
Yeah, I know. I don't. Is it just are the Guardians getting impatient? Is this? I don't know. Is that what?
I don't know.
And again, we'll get to it, but I forget at what point isn't when Salak says to the Guardians, "I hope someone's controlling you."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that you're not just being yourselves, but it's like, yeah, how are you? I hope you're not.
And now, one of them is being controlled.
Yes,
but yeah, I don't know. Well, hang on. Let me back up. As far as Guardians' plans go, this actually makes sense because they always screw it up.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So they're doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense. They don't. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to remember if they ever expressly come out and say it by the end of this, but it's like, I don't know, maybe that's just the downfall of being a billion years old that eventually you just go mad. But plus the universe being destroyed and rewritten about you how many times probably doesn't help matters either.
I blame Denny O'Neil. Okay? Denny O'Neil, of course, an amazing creator, gave us lots of, amazing and wonderful stories, but I really feel like until Hard Traveling Heroes, the Guardians were benevolent. They were trying to help people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But apparently you can't be that old, that powerful, without being somehow authoritarian, right? Which is what I think Denny O'Neil pushed the Guardians into being, these authoritarian, pardon my French, assholes, right? And we've kind of been living in that interpretation of the Guardians for literally decades at this point, right? So I don't know. I've not read Rise of the Third Army. I've not read Wrath of the First Lantern, so I don't know where this is going.
I mean, is it just are they egotistical? I mean, just to believe that you can bring order to the entire universe? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
to an ever-expanding universe, because
it's funny because they said, well, our first attempt failed. Our the Manhunters. Our second attempt failed. Whatever the second attempt was. And then the third.
But I'm just like, did the second attempt really fail? I know, the Lanterns are, very emotional, God forbid, but it's like, I mean,
willful even.
Yeah, but I mean, we stopped the Blackest Night, we stopped all this other stuff. I mean,
so I guess if they are truly rational, which I don't think they are at this point, they would maybe take a step back and, well, our first 3 attempts failed. Oh, but this one's going to work? No, probably not. Look at our track record.
And again, we seem to be ignoring it, but could their resurrection have, the when Cal brought them back, could that have played anything in the,
Well, I mean, it's interesting in that.
And again, maybe it's just age. I mean, the old timer went insane. Remember, all the way back in the road back. I mean,
us humans were a virus. But I mean, the Guardians, the Blackest Night, and I think part of this is coming out. I think this is coming out. I think that the Blackest Night scared them. I mean, they're afraid, right? And then War of the Green Lanterns with Krona coming back, and a measly, pattern matching ape from Earth killed a Guardian, with a ring. They're just getting assaulted on all sides at this point.
and even before that, I think just the rise of all the different cores, because it's like, they didn't put much stock in emotions, and now all of a sudden, emotions are a very strong thing with all these cores.
Now, just to recap, they've talked to the Zamorans. The Zamorans are going to be like, yeah, we're going to kill our Dark Sapphires. We don't care.
Yeah.
They've taken out the Blue Lanterns, right? They've taken out Sinestro Corps. They haven't attacked Larfleeze yet, and they've not really kind of tried to take out the Red Lanterns so far, correct?
No, but I mean, look where we left for a while there, it looked like you weren't going to have to do anything with the Red Lanterns. But...
Red Lanterns, yeah, they were just going to take care of themselves, right?
we drummed Hal out of the Corps, but then Sinestro gave him a ring, but now they're, well...
Dead-ish,
yeah.
We'll be coming back around to that in how long, Phil? Before our...
Yes. Episode 199. We'll get back to the actual Green Lantern book. Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
So yes, that'll be before all our holiday stuff. So
cool. Very cool.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But don't you think the Guardians would have a problem with? Oh, hey, there's like a new Earthman running around with a ring, Sinestro's ring.
We even see them watching him because there's an image of Simon somewhere in their visions that Salak sees. I think coming up in the 15.
Unless they think that's just going to create more chaos, maybe?
I don't know, which is strange. The Guardians want chaos so they can get order. I mean, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they think it'll in the short term, it'll help them get to the long term, I guess, but...
I guess. I mean, but...
it's like, that's going to create so much chaos. An Earthman with no training on a ring. Yeah, that's not going to blow up in our face. Cal Rayner.
The things that the Guardians do, post Hard Traveling Heroes, always, without fail, blow up in their face. I mean, it's... I'm
just waiting for that story where it's like, why the Guardians went nuts? Because, like, their their minds and their life force. Let's say they're connected, their life force are connected to that central battery, and it keeps getting blown up.
Yeah, exactly. And the universe keeps getting rebooted. So what the heck, right?
All right, you want to get to the next one?
You bet.
I like the cover to this next one. It's very like horror movie-ish with like the hands like grabbing guy. That one.
Oh, nice. That one was a nice cover.
Yeah, almost.
Is that Ivan Rice too?
Let me see. We got cover artist. No, Scott Clark and Peter Steigerwald.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really nice cover.
All right, so Green Lantern Corps number 14 from January 2013. Nothing Man. Writer Peter Tomasi, penciler Fernando Pesarin, inker Scott Hanna, colors Gabe Lab, letterer Dave Sharp, and editors Will Moss and Matt Idelson. Guy Gardner and his squad are under attack from the Third Army near Saturn, having just lost Vandor to their new adversaries. With the odds against them, the Green Lanterns try to fight back, but their valiant efforts are for naught as the Third Army continues their relentless attack. While light years away, the Guardians watch the conflict unfold through the eyes of their new army. One by one, the Third Army literally disarm the Lanterns before assimilating them into their numbers, leaving only a sorrowful Guy Gardner standing. As Guy escapes, the Guardians note that while their plan to have him eliminated has failed, it perhaps serves their cause more since they now have the ability to use him as an example and further destabilize the Corps. Zar is dispatched to Earth to kill Guy's family with the promise that he will eventually get to exact a more personal revenge on him once the Guardians are done with him. What the Guardians and Zar overlook is Guy's drive to protect his family, and while he leads the Third Army away from Earth, he has also used his ring to move his family to the Justice League satellite. On Oa, Kilowog questions Salak about the fitting number of recruits he's been sent, and when Salak disputes the number, the two Green Lanterns head to the Foundry to discover that the Guardians have prevented rings from leaving Oa and finding new recruits. This leads Salak sharing his other discovery, that the Guardians are the ones who provided the damning and incomplete footage used as evidence of John Stewart's killing of Kurt to the Alpha Lanterns. The two decide to keep this information to themselves, with Salak noting that Badig has been dispatched to Earth to find Hal Jordan. Well, good luck. Meanwhile, Fatality finds her way across the galaxy to join John Stewart, busy on his mission to find out what's been happening to the bits of Mogo floating about. The scene rapidly shifts back to Oa, where Guy arrives to find himself being summoned immediately to the Guardian's Citadel and warned by Salak to prepare himself for a confrontation. Making the long walk to the Guardians, Guy finds himself on the receiving end of a major comeuppance. The Guardians dress Guy down in cold fashion, wrongly blaming him for the deaths of his squad mates, abandoning his duty for personal reasons, and then, to add insult to injury, for allowing fear to cloud his already questionable judgment. Making an example of Guy to the entire Corps, the Guardians then reveal that Guy's actions not only led to the deaths of his squad, but the deaths of the peaceful delegation he abandoned and the Green Lanterns he left behind to safeguard them. The murders threw that sector into an upheaval, tainting the Corps' reputation. The Guardians also add the charge of disobeying a direct order and call for Guy to resign his commission entirely and prostrate himself before the entire Green Lantern Corps. Guy does indeed resign, and in a crack of green energy is sent back to Earth. Alright, I'm surprised Guy didn't bring up, what are you guys up to? First you drum Jordan out, now you're getting rid of me, I was waiting for Guy to see, make the connection, but he did. I don't know, he really didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
And again, it's all the Guardians' fault, but in the first issue, why did he take half the squad to save his family? It's 3 people. He couldn't pick in one city. Why couldn't he just go himself?
Yeah, that was an odd choice because he would have just gone himself. They would the other recruits would have slowed him down, and he would have just left. He
would have had to tell
everybody
where to go.
To guard the But they make Green Lanterns die so easily. If you have 6 Green Lanterns guarding it. I know that one guy is supposedly a really bad bounty hunter and, blah, 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 but 6 Green Lanterns? Yeah, it's the same thing, my problem with Katmatui dying so easily.
Yes.
My problem with Fatality killing so many Green Lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Green Lanterns are top tier, okay? If they have their rings, they're the top tier. And if they don't have their rings, they're still seasoned warriors, right? So that's kind of my criticism. They kill a lot of Green Lanterns. They kill them. They die easily and quickly in a lot of these New 52 Green Lantern Corps stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's I think that's a fair criticism of this book, is that it kind of cheapens the power and the grandeur of what it is to be a Green Lantern, at least in my mind.
So that whole Foundry thing, are they calling rings back, or they're just keeping new rings from going out? And how often do we need to make new rings? Because don't the old ones just go and find a new bearer?
Yeah,
unless they're destroyed somehow.
And they're pretty darn near indestructible, right?
Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it seemed like when they're at the Foundry, there's a whole hell of a lot of lantern rings floating, and I'm like, why do we need all those rings?
Yeah,
unless the Guardians are cooking something for, once everyone's under their control.
And yeah, that's an excellent point.
But yeah, I was waiting for. I just was waiting for Guy to say something like, what's this conspiracy? You're trying to get all the Earth Lanterns out of here or something. Because again, they sent Hal away, and now they've sent Guy away. Hal's basically a wanted fugitive, so.
Yeah, and with Kyle, so Kyle knows that there's something wrong. That Ganthet's been whatevered, right? The Red Lanterns know that the Guardians are a threat. Well, Atrocitus hates them anyway, so hey, this is Christmas for him.
Mm-hmm.
Hal and Sinestro know that there's something wrong with the Guardians, but they're deadish.
Yeah, they're in no position to do anything.
Yeah.
And I assume this Mogo thing's a wild goose chase for John.
Yeah, although I think it does end up bringing Mogo back.
Yes, ultimately. But I think the Guardians just wanted him out of the way for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
because he would have probably been the biggest guy arguing in defense of Guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we do the last one?
You got it, dude.
Just kind of odd, but okay. All right.
This is the one we don't have the...
Yeah, no synopsis for it. Look, that cover's kind of misleading.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, so Green Lantern Corps number 15 from February 2013, Falling Star. Same team as last time. And like I said, there's no synopsis for this, so.
I was a little weirded out by how quickly things progressed in this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Guy saves his family and he's back on Earth within a day, and he's already working his way up a criminal, supply chain to cause problems. I'm like, it's been 12 hours. What?
Yeah, I mean, unless, because he knows people, because the family's all cops or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. It felt a little...
Yeah, and
time felt compressed here, but then it felt normal with Kilowog and Salak, right?
Yeah. Again, I guess maybe all this stuff isn't happening at the same time, but...
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess it's just Guy taking out his anger, because he just basically puts on a leather jacket and starts going after
eating
criminals
the crap out of people
in Baltimore. Yeah,
he talks to his family. We do get now Salak is extraordinarily clever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where this is going because I've not read the subsequent issues, but I'm sure. Well, two things with the Kilowog Salak stuff. So Salak ends up spying on the Guardians to see that, oh yeah, hey, look at all the cool stuff we're doing.
Yeah, they're basically saying, saying it's quite surprising the meager resistance, that everyone's putting up, and then they discover, Salak put some kind of camera in there.
And I thought it was, I don't know if this was on purpose. I really think it was on purpose, but when in the Silver Age, when Chrono was banished, he was put in like a capsule thing and sent around, churned into energy and sent around the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they did something similar to Sinestro, and it looks like they're doing something similar to Salak here. I mean, am I reaching, or does that look like it's an echo of kind of what's been done before?
I don't know. Yeah, because they put him in. Yeah, they put him in an energy tube, and then they kind of lock him in something. But really don't see.
Well, and I don't understand why they just don't have a pet Third Army there. Go, okay, here's the next victim.
Yeah.
Why why are they? Do they have some feelings, quote unquote, for Salak? I mean, he served the Guardians for a very long time.
Yeah. And well, that's the other thing too. I was like, why did they send Guy back to Earth? Why didn't they either kill him or assimilate him?
Mm-hmm. Well, after they send him back to Earth, why not then send a third army to go kill him, right?
Yeah,
or assimilate him.
Yeah, or that Tsar they set loose to kill the
Yeah.
delegates. I'm like, he wanted revenge on Gaia World. They'd just be like, well, yeah, go kill him now. No, none of the Lanterns are looking for him now. Go kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe it's just their ego. They're just like, oh yeah, he's powerless on Earth. He can't do anything to stop us.
He doesn't have a ring. It doesn't matter. He's going to get assimilated later anyway.
I mean, unless the Guardians are just like, I don't know, in their twisted way, they're like, yeah, we're not killers. We're assimilating people, but we're not killing them.
But they are.
I know.
Totally
I
true.
know. So we're basically taking lessons from the Borg at this point.
Exactly. And, that always works out well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's here where they ask Salak what he believes, and he's like, I want to believe that something is controlling you, forcing you to make the horrific choice to destroy what you spent millennia to build. And he said, he'll do whatever's necessary to release you from this grip of insanity. And of course, they're just like, it's not insanity, it's destiny. Oh, Ganton himself says that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, of course, now it's free will is the enemy, so.
Yeah. How quickly they change their enemies.
Well, I guess they figure they got to lock down all the cores, including their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, I still think it's an overly complex plan, Like, hey, we've got this. Let's just send them out and let them start assimilating. Let's Borgify everybody, right?
I mean, I guess it's the easy route, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, but they're taking special pains to avoid their core, just destabilize it. They're not. I mean, they did take out 12 Lanterns, which again, I think Lanterns die too easily in the New 52.
Yeah, but even a little before that too, when once we got through Rebirth, it's like, the Ring will just go find someone new, and here's a Lantern you never heard of. We can kill him off.
Exactly, which is not awesome, but
I mean, I guess they're trying to show like their stakes, even though it's like we can't kill off our main characters, but here's some cannon fodder Lanterns. Will they die?
Yeah, but again,
I know
that just cheapens the concept, in my opinion.
I know. It's like, aren't these supposed to be very powerful weapons? And
Mm-hmm.
do we still have the thing where the Ring keeps like a 1% or even less charge just to keep the wearer from mortal harm or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. That seems to have been kind of moved away to the side to never be spoken of again.
Oh, that's not interesting. And again, all right, it's been a while since I've said this, but again, they should have had something controlling the Guardians. Again, waiting in the wings for decades already at this point. Malvolio could have been behind the whole thing.
That's right. Yeah, I kind of wonder where...
He's still out there plotting his revenge, Will.
Wait, hang on. Go with me here. Malvolio gave Hal his ring when Hal's ring was killed. Hal's ring was used to recreate Kyle's ring, or to create Kyle's ring, right? Mm-hmm. So it's Malvolio and Kyle's ring.
Yes, yeah. Does Cal still have that ring? I'm trying the original ring he received.
I don't know the answer to that.
Because I always feel like the Rebirth miniseries, the rings were swapping all over the place. And
oh yeah, there is one of my favorite stories of the Ring is it's got to be the Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp story from The Green Lantern, right? Which was, I think, issue number 7. Season 1 of number 7. After Hal has saved the universe and is inside his ring and the power's running out, which ends with one of the greatest panels of all time where Hal's just kissing his ring.
Oh yeah, when we get to that, I think we're gonna have to do that one issue at a time.
I think you're absolutely right. There's gonna be lots of editor's notes on that one.
Oh yeah. Or again, just the trope of, if Malvolio was one of those rings, eventually he just rode that into the central power battery.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. I can see. I've got this picture in my mind of Parallax with a little teacup, Sinestro with a teacup, and Malvolio with they're all having tea in the main power battery.
Oh, that'd be funny. I mean, Sinestro was like free in Rebirth, right? So you could say Malvolio going in kind of kicks Sinestro free or something.
It could, or Parallax freed him unconsciously after, because he was still in the battery, because that apparently was just a simulacrum or something that.
That how killed in Emerald Twilight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically, it killed clone Sinestro because we needed real Sinestro back.
Yeah, that's right. We needed Space Hitler for Sinestro Core War.
Well, again, you could also say, Hal blew up that battery again. Then maybe that freed the real Sinestro. Maybe that freed Malvolio. Maybe that.
Oh, I have seen apparently Lights Out, which is coming up within the next 10 issues or so, starts with the battery blowing up, the central power battery blowing up. I'm like, oh, not again. Come on, man.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember a lot of these, but it wouldn't surprise me.
We need to do some research, and we need to do a count, and we need to bring receipts. This is how many times the central power battery has been destroyed this year, and the issues and everything. So
I feel like at least once a decade we blow up that battery. At least some decades it's probably more.
Yeah, I think some decades we're talking like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Well, probably accelerates as we get shorter runs and we swap writers more frequently. It's like, oh yeah, I guess what? I guess I'm going to start my run. Blow up the battery. Blow up the battery. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do. Again, props to spoilers. We're going spoilery on latest issues of Green Lantern. So
yes.
Please feel free to skip at this point. But yeah, danger. I do like that. Having a backup battery on Earth and potentially having backup batteries elsewhere in the universe.
Yes.
So that this stupid crap can't happen again.
Or again, just have a bunch of empty central batteries. So if the main one blows up, the power just shunts to another one on another planet. I
mean, the Guardians are kind of good with the whole technology thing, so I'm sure they could build that, right?
They're billions of years old. Don't you think they would grasp the concept of a backup plan by this point?
Redundancy, some fault tolerance here. Yeah, you would think so.
Warranties. But no, again, all right. I mentioned Malvolio. I think we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. How about we bring Malvolio, Jeremy Adams, bring Malvolio back, and guess who he's had in stasis or whatever for the last couple decades? Cat Matui. Yep, that would be awesome. Let's redeem Action Comics Weekly.
That would do it, but that's a lot. It takes a lot to redeem Action Comics Weekly Green Lantern.
I was going to say, what other loose ends do we have to tie from Action Comics Weekly? Oh, I know. Guess where Malvolio's been hiding? Oprah's estate.
Exactly. Because the ring lobotomized Hal. Yeah. This is why we don't speak of Action Comics Weekly.
Yeah, that was our sucking black hole until we got the brightest day.
That is true. Okay. You made the comparison there, dude.
Oh, is that the new poll? Oh, is that the new poll? Which is worse, Action Comics Weekly or Brightest Day? Oh,
exactly. From a Green Lantern perspective.
Talking about your Sophie's Choice. Jeez.
Yes. And that's not to say that there weren't good stories in Action Comics Weekly. It's just overall the Green Lantern stuff in Action Comics Weekly is just
yellow safe.
Yes, exactly.
All right, kids, if you're on death row and you had to choose your method of execution, would it be Action Comics Weekly or Brightest Day? Which would be the more pleasant death?
And Action Comics Weekly includes all the crossovers. So that gets them about the same number of issues, I think.
Oh, my.
There you go.
Oh.
52 issues versus...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow safe, yellow net.
There you go. White net. It's a white net.
White net. That's right. Okay.
Wow, that went way off topic. Anyway, back to this issue.
Boy, hey, guess what we're talking about today? Guy Gardner issues.
Let's get back to Guy Gardner because we're like I said, I had a little bit of weirdness with, hey, Guy just got home and boom, he's going to go beat up people. He doesn't, stop. Okay, maybe that's some character. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
I think it's just he's angry. He feels like he failed, so he's taking it out on the criminal element.
I just think it would take him longer to work his way up the chain of the criminal element. I don't know. It just seemed weird. I know. I mean, I guess he didn't get to the top, but at the end, he bust this. Was it like drug or gun running or whatever? But then it's like, oh, guess what? They're undercover cops. They've been working this thing for 2 years, and he ruined the whole thing. So I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been a movie, and he could have jumped across a building through.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
But then he gets arrested. His own sister has to slap the cuffs on him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is weird because pre-New 52, he just had a brother who was dead, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember, like early in the cow run, like didn't that organization turn his brother into some kind of cyborg or some?
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing that didn't happen, but the Mogo death happened.
Yeah. Don't think about it, Phil. Think about it.
I know. I'm surprised New 52 that either at this point or like when Guy becomes a Red Lantern, spoilers, that they didn't try to like make the brother or the sister to get his ring or Green Lantern ring or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this rise of the Third Army, it seems to be stretched out. I mean, it seems to be kind of a really slow burn. I feel like it's a little too slow.
Yeah, and again, it's once again where how much can we knock down again?
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's the Guardian's own making. But it's how much damage can we do to this core, to all the cores?
Yeah, because we had talked about, I think, that last week. Hey, we just got all of this really cool stuff built right after the Blackest Night. Let's explore it some. No, we're gonna nuke the Blue Lanterns. Yeah. Sinestro Corps, we're shutting all them down. I mean, it's
And again, we talked last week about, why wasn't Simon like as popular as Jessica? Maybe because Simon's debut comes in the middle of all this.
Yeah, that could be it too. But I think Jessica's probably a little bit more relatable.
Yeah.
And she's been used in other media too, so people have been exposed to her more.
Yeah.
Because and that for better or for worse.
Mm.
And again, nothing against Jessica. All the Earth Lanterns are awesome. We know who my favorite is, but
oh well, okay, kids. Well, if you're new here, if this is your first episode,
I of course love Hal Jordan.
There you go. But it worked well for John Stewart. I think it's working really well for Jessica because and Jessica, it seems to me she was, and we've not read that story yet, so I'm just going based on plot synopses that I've read. She gets introduced, I think, in a much more interesting way than the traditional here's your ring, because hers is more of this kind of
I mean, spoilers, it's not a legitimate Green Lantern ring at first, so
exactly, yeah, it's more of an organic kind of outgrowth of some stories that are going on in Justice League, right?
Mm.
So she kind of comes to it the long way versus like, here's your ring and go do your thing. So plus I think maybe her relationship with fear, I think, is probably more interesting to readers than maybe Simon's, because Simon almost seems more angry. Yeah, and he's angry because he is seen as an object of fear versus Jessica, who's afraid of everything. So
yes,
I mean it's and they're both really interesting takes on Green Lantern, but I think Jessica's is more relatable to a lot more people. Yes,
yeah. And like I said, I mean, I think it just does a disservice introducing Simon in the middle of all this, because like even when Kyle first came around, I mean, he got at least 5 months before we threw him into his first big event, 0 Hour.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, guess what? Simon appeared in a big event, so there you go.
Yes. Again, Kyle kind of made the rounds for the first couple months. Basically got to meet Superman, and we gave him the tragedy, the tragic refrigerator.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, I don't know. For the most part, you look at the crossovers. You start out with Sinestro Corps War. You get all of those mini crossovers leading up to Blackest Night, Secret Origin. You get all of these really great storylines within Green Lantern. You get, of course, Blackest Night, which has been, which I think is one of the best executed, and it's just an amazing, company-wide crossover. It's, it's almost flawlessly executed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dan over at Mosaic Comics is actually doing a retrospective on Blackest Night over on YouTube. So yeah, go check that out. It's really good. I've been watching. I think he's got one episode left on it. But
nice.
When we looked at it, we went through all the crossovers, and it worked really, really well. All the parts fed back into the whole, and it was extraordinarily well executed. It's a good story too. War of the Green Lanterns, I don't feel like it was as strong as, say, Blackest Night or Sinestro Corps War. And Rise of the Third Army, it doesn't even seem to be rising up to the level of War of the Green Lanterns at this point. Now, this is backseat quarterbacking while we're in the midst of it. So
yeah,
we need to it's only fair that once we finish Rise of the Third Army that we kind of give it an overall grade at that point. But so far it's not working well. I don't think it's working well at this point. I mean, it's not bad, but it doesn't seem as well executed as the previous Green Lantern crossovers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, I think we mentioned this before. I don't think Jeff Johns is like watching over everyone at this point, so things aren't quite as focused. And
this kind of just occurred to me. I really don't like the design of the Third Army.
Oh, just the blue.
The blue, yeah. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, they look weird with the big eyes, right? I know that the eyes are there for a reason. I get it, but they just look kind of weird. And
I mean, it kind of, it makes sense to me because they're the weapon of the Guardians. The Guardians really have no imagination. They're basically like, we just need something to do the job,
But I mean, for us, it's hard to then have a villain to kind of.
Well, the Guardians are the villains.
Well, yeah, we know that, but they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Something feels off at this point. Hopefully, it'll get in hindsight, it'll be exactly what we wanted. But I
remember reading this the first time, and I think through this reread, I'm feeling the same way. It's like, so these are the same Guardians who, during Emerald Twilight, don't walk in that battery. Don't walk in that battery. Why? What are they going to do? Nothing. But no, don't walk in that battery. Yeah. Now all of a sudden they're gonna transform everyone in the universe. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and these are the same Guardians that when Ganthet stepped up to the bat during Rebirth, the air got quiet. Everything. I mean, these are extraordinarily powerful beings, and
I guess they've gone nuts or something, because again, it's like Ganthet's the one that him and Kyle basically held the fort down when everything else was destroyed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, there's just something. It seems like it's such a weird way to go for the Guardians, because they have so much personal power on their own.
And it just
why not?
It just seems weird. We're gonna corrupt these Guardians and then bring in new Guardians, and it's just. Mm-hmm. Aren't they all new Guardians after that? After Cal brought them back, I don't know.
Except the ones in the lockup were old Guardians.
Yeah. But the ones that are going nuts now are the newer ones. I don't know. That could have been a plot point. Where it's like, well, they weren't brought back properly or something. That's why they're nuts.
Yeah, and Ganthet never was. So
they had the mind brainwash him or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like that headcanon. Let's go with that.
Yes. Oh, DC. Let this man write it, and I'll whisper in his ear every 2 seconds. Let us write the definitive history of the Green Lantern Corps.
Nice.
We'll tie together all the continuities. Come on.
There you go. That sounds like fun.
we even let Jeremy Adams play. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
We'll do it for limited money, too. Just give us plenty of advertisement for Capes and Lunatics and Crossover Division. Yes.
There you go. But yeah, this one is not, I'm a little underwhelmed. I guess I'm a little disappointed about how this one's turning out so far. It just doesn't seem as epic as it should be.
Well, again, it's one of those stories where, like you said, we're dragging it out. So to drag it out, everyone has to make poor decisions.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if anyone made a smart decision or, thought something through, this would be over already.
Yeah. Indeed. The Guardians made a quick leap to free will being the problem,
they thought about it for a billion years, and they were like, okay, well, I guess the problem.
Well, they thought about it for at least, a second, because, it's been like a year since War of the Green Lantern. I don't know.
Well, like I said, I think like you said, they're scared, and I think they're scared because it's not just emotions. All these emotions are powering their own cores at this point. So,
Yep.
If it was just a few unruly Green Lanterns, it'd be one thing. Now you got Red Lanterns, and we had Yellow Lanterns, Zamarans, yeah.
Controllers with Dark Stars.
Yeah, when's the last time we heard from the Dark Stars and the Controllers?
Well, apparently they're gone too after the Jeffrey Thorne run. So.
Oh, yeah.
But we may get new Dark Stars because of the ring that
John doesn't want to use, but he's wearing on his hand.
Which just got taken off because, of course, it did.
Because why would you hide it?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, William?
I got nothing, sir.
All right. Woo! Yeah, that's right. I think we talked everything at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't close the schedule, did I? I might have. All right, hold on. All right, bring the schedule back up. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to our end of the year specials here, kids. So, all right, there we go. So, yeah, we only have, let's see, 3 more episodes of New 52 this year before we get to those 3 at the end of the year. So, yeah. Next week, Green Lantern New Guardians 13 through 15, annual number 1 and number 16, and then Red Lanterns 13 through 16, and then, yes, we will get back to Green Lantern 15 and 16 for episode 199.
With our Deadish Sinestro and Deadish Hal Jordan.
Yes, yes. And then, so, again, the last 3 episodes of the year will be, episode 200 and 201 will be our 2-part Millennium special, because Will hasn't punished himself enough this year, so yes.
I am insane.
He's a Guardian!
Wahaha!
So yes, Millennium, we'll cover Millennium in 2 parts. It'll be mostly the Superman stuff, and yes, there is a spurned Superman issue in there because Hal Jordan does make an appearance. And of course, yes, if you've been paying attention at all this year, yes, you know the final episode of the year will be the Larfleeze Christmas special.
With cookies.
Yes. I think I'm going to bump it up a day or two, so I think I'm going to have it released on Christmas Day, so.
Nice.
Mine. All right, kids. So, yes, send us your thoughts on all of that, and again, then we'll get back to, all this Third Army stuff and everything in January. So, no feedback from Tyler this time. So, Mr. Tyler, send us more feedback.
Yep.
All right. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get the brand new Capes Lunatics merch, the classic Capes Lunatics merch. And, of course, again, more dangerous than a rogue guardian. Lilith Hellfire demands that you rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Please don't make us dance on the pole, so, we don't want to be assimilated.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
Especially if it's in Baltimore. Guy's going to come crashing through the wall or something. And, of course, the Patreon, where, again, you get uncensored, exclusive content just for our patrons. And, again, if you are a patron, you can suggest topics for us to discuss. Lilith and I just did a Halloween special for October, so check that out. And you can subscribe at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, and you can find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
Oh, I can't wait. And the end of the year, Justin always does like a drunken unboxing video when he orders some stuff. That's where a lot of the drops come from, like the last one. So I can't. So there's another one coming this year. So we're gonna get new Justin drops here soon. I cannot wait.
It's me, your old pal, the Owl.
Because he'll like unpack comics. He'll be like, "Oh, what's this?"
Boo! Long-haired Superman. Boo!
Hey, I take issue with that. That is a direct hit against the Electric Mullet, the greatest named podcast.
I know. Oh, what kind of lunatic or genius came up with that name? I did. All right, Mr. Woe Allred, master of the core, master of the quantum zone, master of podcasting, and master of several successful Kickstarter campaigns with more to come. Where can people find you and all of your work?
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED. You can get me at Gmail and Blue Sky and Facebook and Twitter and probably some other places that I've forgotten that I set up. But if you want to check out my work, you can find Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. We are looking to launch issue number 6 soon-ish. We'll see how that works out. There's a couple of giant events coming up that might impact that. But
well, I was going to say, you only got like another week till the elections. I just wait till
exactly. But you can check it out at crossoverdivision.com. You can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And obviously you've got great taste because you're here hanging out with Phil and I talking about Quasar, which means you probably love Marvel's... Oh, I just said Quasar. You probably love Marvel's Quasar as much as we do. So if you want to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
I met Will years before I met him on the quantumzone.org.
Hey, boys! You look at the party. I love the party.
Again, like I was looking at that site in like 1998 or 99, and how odd is it that like years later it's just like, I guess not weird because Quasar podcast brought us together. So
yeah, exactly.
He goes limp in my grip. I hope it's going somewhere nice. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
I can't believe that made it into a comic.
I know.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. Back to Green Lantern New Guardians next week. Then the Red Lanterns. Then back to Green Lantern. Then you get 2 Millennium 2 weeks of Millennium and 1 Warfleet's Christmas special.
Nice.
Nice wholesome Christmas tale to get away from all this murder
and mayhem.
Exactly. All right, kids. Remember, come back next time, and remember, friends don't let friends commit murder or hang out with the Guardians. Good night.